You'll be up here to start. You're not up here yet.
Not
You,
yet?
you hold back.
Okay.
You're in the second event. It's a double header. You are now in select company. You're in select company. I'll tell you why you're in select company. You'll see soon enough. With Summit and Gino. Why are you in select company? Because I learned when I look at the truth chase one day.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the U.S. Basketball Writers Association Awards announcements. At this moment, I will turn it over to Mel Greenberg, who will run the program.
Well, this is like a record turnout today. Of course, it didn't hurt there. Everybody wanted to follow me back from Philadelphia for one of our recipients. Hello, everybody. I'm Mel Greenberg, the women's coordinator for the United States Basketball Writers Association, also known as USBWA, and welcome to our annual presentation. And every year it gets better and better, and this year is no exception. Technically, for those not here yesterday, this is part two due to some scheduling problems involving different parties. So to handle what is now quick old business, yesterday on our side for the Writers Association, we presented our Mary Jo Haverback Award to Danielle Donahue, the head of the Women's Basketball Coaches Association. It's named for the late Penn State pioneering women's sports information director who did much to promote the Lady Lions in the early days of the modern era and moving forward. Mary Jo is a longtime USBWA member, and those of you who go way back with this tournament, many years she was part of Rick Nixon's media crew. And thanks to Rick and everyone else at the NCAA and Carol Stiff and the rest of our ESPN partners for friendship and cooperation through the years and collaboration on ideas to try to improve coverage. And that is what the Mary Jo Award is, going to someone who has been helpful to the membership covering this sport for print and electronic organizations. Last year, Barb Cowell, the College Sports Information Directors, and also is on the crew here, got the award. She also previously worked at Texas and UConn. USA Basketball's Caroline Williams was a winner several years ago during the Olympics year. Caroline might be in here somewhere. That said, because the other award is given by the WBCA, but worth noting here at our event is the Mel Greenberg Media Award, created in 1991 and going to someone who moves coverage of the sport and loves working into the wee hours before sunrise. That's why Michelle Vopel and Graham Hayes, past winners, are here covering this event. But this year, winner working in the room, and he has been in this world since 2007, is the Associated Press National Women's Collegiate and Olympics and WNBA writer, Doug Feinberg. So Doug, I know you're down here somewhere. Just stand up and be acknowledged. Okay, now moving forward. Our first winner certainly has a lot on his plate. His team is back here for the second straight year with a record of 36-1. And get this, you'll love this, Vic. The last time a coach out of the SEC won this award was Pokey Chapman at LSU in 2005. So let's congratulate Mississippi State's Vic Schaefer as the 2018 USBW Coach of the Year. One thing, I never see these awards till they get here, and apparently you're in select company because your name is spelled wrong. On throwbacks, the last time that happened was '98 with Pat Summitt, whose record was unbeaten. We pointed out that, unlike her, we're not perfect, and it even happened to Gino once. So you know how far you've risen. Vic, congratulations.
Would you like to say a few words?
I would love to. First of all, I want to thank Mel and the USBWA for this prestigious and very prestigious award. I'm so honored and humbled. There's so many great coaches in this industry, and to be able to be here today, I just I want you all to know how appreciative I am. I really take my job seriously. I think we have a chance in our industry as coaches to impact this world, impact young people, young women, to be our leaders of tomorrow. And that has nothing to do with X's and O's, wins and losses, and skill sets. And I think there's so many people that do a great job. And again, today, just honored. I've so many things go into this. I've got a tremendous staff. Coach Harris, who's with me, my associate head coach, was Assistant Coach of the Year this morning with the WBCA. Carly Tebow, Deanna Jackson, all three of those are just, you know, I go to the office every day and work with family. We are family together. We are very competitive, but they embrace the grind. They just, they're so good at what they do and how they do it. The role models that they are for our team and for our student athletes, they're real pros. And obviously I couldn't be here today without them. My wife, who gets to see me 6 months out of the year, which might be a good thing for her. But just for her support. My son Logan's here today. His twin sister obviously plays on my team, and you know what? She had a little bit to do with this year. Coach Blair's here today, a guy that I worked with for 15 years, who I owe a great deal to in so many different areas and learned so much from. There's not a day that doesn't go by as a head coach that I don't walk down a hall or walk out of a building and go, oh, that's what he was doing. There's so many things that I learned from him and continue to learn from afar. And I owe him a great deal for 15 years, you know, for the 15 years that we had together. You talk about a couple of competitive people. And we just, you know, I think that's something that I took with me. Hiring good people, letting them work, and getting people like yourself, like-minded in your office. And so, Coach, I appreciate you being here and the impact that you've had on my career. The good Lord's blessed me, y'all, and I know exactly where all these blessings come from, whether it's this season with my team or with my staff or in life. And he's blessed me with some great players over the years. This year, our 4 seniors are very special, and one of the players that's not on my team is responsible for one of the losses, our only loss this year that's up here at the table now. And so I'm appreciative for those 4 seniors and the team that we have. And hopefully tonight we can go out and play well as we have all year. But again, just want to appreciate, I just want you to know how much I appreciate this day, this opportunity, and this award. And I'm very humbled and honored to be your recipient this year, and hope I can continue to honor the award in a way that is pleasing to you all. Thank you very much. I'm going to go get ready for the game.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Don't worry. The WBCA misspelled my name too.
They just try to keep up with us.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck. Good luck.
In terms of the next recipient, this is another first-time, long-time honoree out of the SEC. Last one by Tennessee's Candace Parker, back-to-back in 2007, 2008. This is our Ann Myers Drysdale National Player of the Year, named for the UCLA all-time great, now with the NBA, WNBA organizations in Phoenix. As always, Annie is back to help present the award. And no surprise, just keep making space on those cabinets back home. Congratulations. Annie's going to make the presentation to South Carolina's Asia Wilson.
Thank you, Mel. Again, congratulations, Asia, first of all, but to your parents, Roscoe and Eva, for, I think, raising a young woman that Vic Schaefer talked about, a leader of the future, and her character on and off the court, how she has presented herself at South Carolina and staying home. And to know that she's winning this award that her coach, Dawn Staley, had won twice. This is the 30th year of this award for the women, and certainly the 7th year for my name being on it. So I'm very privileged and honored to be able to not only present this award to Asia Wilson this year, because she has had a tremendous, tremendous year this year, as she has all 4 years at South Carolina. So, so proud of you being a national champion last year, and just the way you present yourself, Asia. Everybody is so proud of you and wish you all the best.
Yes.
Okay. Well, first off, thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, USBWA, for just honoring me and letting me be a recipient of this great award. I play in the NCAA where we're full of great players. Hello. And just to be just named Player of the Year is just amazing. It is an honor and a blessing just to be in this position. I've enjoyed my 4 years at South Carolina, but I think it's time for me to let the NCAA go. So this is definitely an honor just to receive this award. So thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Do I stay up here?
Yeah, we'll move Kennedy down.
I'll be down there.
Kennedy, if you want to move down. This is like survival podium. By the way, when we're all done, in case I forget to say it later, we're going to be able to gather in the buffet room to do pictures and interviews for the media type, so, you know, we won't be a crushing mob scene over here, and I know there's combinations of those. And thanks to Ted Gandy in our home office, of course, getting older now, he actually decided to do all the ballot counting and come up with some facts, and he runs our USBWA website, and so things like that. So now we have our Freshman of the Year, and we actually hadn't been really giving this award out at the Final Four until the last couple of years. And we also have a last time an SEC player won that award. It was Shekinah Strickland of Tennessee in 2009. This year's honor goes to Texas A&M rookie Kennedy Carter. So, congratulations.
I want to thank USBWA for the award, but I really want to reach out to my coaching staff. First off, I came in as a freshman not thinking that I could, accomplish the things that I've accomplished now. I had low confidence. I didn't think that I would be the player that I am today. And I just want to thank Coach Blair and Coach Bond for pushing me and making me a better player and making me great. I want to thank my parents for all the support and the love, for pushing me, helping me to be a great player. And I love y'all. My teammates, honestly, I have the best teammates in the world. They keep me lifted up. Every day in practice, they push me to be better. But I feel like this is not an award just for myself. This is an award for me, my teammates, and everybody who supports Texas A&M University. So I would like to thank you all. Thank you guys for nominating me to be able to accept this award. It is a lot of great players out there who possibly could have deserved this award too, but I'm blessed and honored to be able to say that I'm the National Freshman of the Year. So thank you all.
And now we turn the page and ramp everything up a little bit more. Not that what already has happened is insignificant. When we first started putting names on awards, and we have a few more to do, in 2012, it was obvious that the one with the best meaning should be the Pat Summitt Most Courageous Award, with the Hall of Fame legend winning the first one as her battle of Alzheimer's first became public. We've had great winners, people who battled cancer, people who've dealt with societal issues, for example. And then last year, we actually, for the first time, gave out 2 awards to Appalachian State's Angel Elderkin and ESPN's Holly Rowe. And Holly was actually the first person to win it. It wasn't a coach or player or somebody directly off the collegiate competitive field. And this year's winner, she comes from St. Joseph's University, my hometown of Philadelphia. We have a large delegation of Hawks in the house, coaches, friends, teammates, people from the Philadelphia Bells AAU Association, and who she played for, and thank you for your help. Before continuing on this thought, I want to take a short detour because one of them is retiring this year and has been a fighter for this sport. And helped land the 2000 Final Four, where we hosted Athletic Director Don DeGiulia. Will you stand up in a moment and be recognized? Now, it's very funny because as the word came out that Don decided he was jealous of me leaving the Inquirer and he thought he'd have more fun not going to the office every day, we began to wonder, well, who's going to replace him? Because he was a giant in local athletic circles in Philadelphia and nationally. And it just so happens that having been out at Notre Dame 2 weekends ago with Villanova, that Senior Associate Athletic Director Jill Bonesteiner was so enamored of my entertainment that she decided to come back, 2 trains behind me or 2 planes behind me and become Don's successor, being the first female at Notre Dame. She's also on the basketball committee, and that doesn't become official on the job until a month or so from now, so she's got other business here first. But Jill, if you want to. Our winner's story has been told across the country, how she fought her way back from a stroke 3 years ago, the weekend she enrolled as a freshman. Just this week, the NBA Network did a feature. So if you just Google the name of our winner, who I'll mention soon, you will see a whole kinds of stories that were written, and how she dealt with courage. So at the moment, before we go on with a couple other pieces with this award, let's get her up here. From St. Joseph, the Pat Summitt Most Courageous winner, Avery Mars. Avery, by the way, is a journalism major, and she's thrilled because this gave her an excuse to write for my blog the rest of the tournament. So we have several people that want to come up here and say a few things. We've always had people associated with the Lady Vols or Pat directly that have DNA to sort of keep a living presence going, especially those of us who were around Pat for so many years and actually had fun in spite of what you used to see on TV when the games were going on. So here to say a few words now is Ira Blumenfeld from the new Pat Summitt Leadership Group.
How you doing? Thank you very much.
First of all, congratulations, Avery. Your story is an amazing story. And I tried to equate it to the legendary, iconic life of Coach Pat Summitt. And just as a very, very brief overview, the Pat Summitt Leadership Group is 9 months old, going on about 7 years. It feels that way. But it's an organization that was recently put together to extend the legacy, the life, the legend, and the leadership learnings of not just an iconic basketball coach, but a trailblazer for gender equality, a champion for women, one of the finest educators on leadership that this planet has ever seen. So with things such as workshops and webinars and books, okay, from on stage at Coca-Cola in a few weeks, okay, for 500 women leaders, to high school programs being launched in the fall, to keep your fingers crossed, every one of you, to some negotiation now with one of the finest producers in Hollywood to do the Pat Summitt story. So it's a pretty exciting time. Pat represented courage, and that's what this fine young lady right next to me certainly represented. And in reading your story, you had a doctor that said to you, you won't play basketball again. Now, you refused to mention his name, but he's in the audience. No, he's not. All right? And the doctor said, you can't play basketball again. You can't play basketball again. Well, 3 years after a 17-year-old girl had a stroke, she was back on the basketball. First of all, round of applause for that. That's amazing. That's just amazing. But so at the risk of embarrassing a colleague of mine in the audience, I do want to share with you a story, a Pat Summitt story, that relates to Can't. In the third or fourth row back, we have Tyler Summit. Tyler is the son of Pat Summit, as many of you know. When did your mom coach your AAU basketball team? This is interesting. An iconic 8-time national championship collegiate Division I coach ended up one summer in her flip-flops, from what I remember, coaching a boys AAU team. How old were you?
Sophomore in high school.
Sophomore in high school. And somebody mic'd Pat at this game. And I have a clip, and by the way, go to Pat Summit Leadership, okay, group.com, and I'll be glad to send it to you. And there was a timeout, and one of your teammates, maybe 15, 16 years old, came over, and Coach Summit said to this young man, "You need to cover him better. You need to box out. You need to cover him better." And live on this tape, this young man said to Coach Summit, "Coach, I can't." Kind of like the doctor saying, I can't. Now, I will tell you that this is the most precious clip I think I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot on Coach Summit and over the years. But she exploded, and she said, "You can't say can't to Coach Summit. I don't accept can't. Can't is not in my vocabulary." I mean, she went on for what seemed to be like 60 seconds. This poor kid obviously became a lacrosse player because he just decided that basketball was not appropriate. But it's amazing to me that you had a stroke at 17 years old, and it took you 3 years to battle back, because success is about cans, C-A-N-S. You know, those who say it can't be done need to get out of the way of those who are doing it. So I'm thrilled and humbled and honored, okay, to be representing the Pat Summit leadership group, and in some ways even representing Pat Summit, because you're someone that she would certainly be very, very proud of. We, not just in this arena and not just in this wonderful sport, but in this country, need more folks who can take the position of I can, and I will, and I'll rise above adversity. So life is a series of, where's the tattoo? Can I see it?
It's on my shoulder. It's covered right now.
It's covered right now. There's a tattoo on the left shoulder, 8/23/14, and what does that represent?
That's the date of my stroke.
That was your date of your stroke, okay? Because courageous people never forget what they needed to do to rise above it all. So, ladies and gentlemen, okay, today she is honored as the U.S. Basketball Writers Association most courageous athlete, the Pat Summit most courageous athlete. I'm thrilled to be here. Congratulations. Job well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ira. You give a nice segue to the next ad, last portion of this before Avery gets to speak. When looking at the chronology of your story, it was noticed that when your situation began, it was the same time we were all focusing on the story of Lauryn Hill. Many of you remember all those moments, and that great moment when we presented Lauryn with the award at Xavier during her collegiate debut. So, like Ira said, here we had two people who were told no, and the love of the game got them to their court. So, I know from your mom that on your list of your bucket list of things you wanted to do in life was the ESPYs, and you were there when Lauryn's parents accepted for Lauryn. So I get emotional at my own words. So as a surprise, I told you I had one. Here comes Lisa and Brent Hill, Lauryn's parents.
Would you like to say a few words?
Avery, it's a privilege and an honor to be here to watch you receive this Courage Award, and watching Lauryn go through her journey and reading about your story, the tenacity, the never give up attitude, the want and the need to get back out on that court so that you can feel the vibration of the floorboards and shoot a layup at least one last time. It's nice to know that you have that drive inside you, and it's deeper than just a basketball game. It's a life game, just to keep up and get yourself back up and running to full life capacity. It's an honor and a privilege for us to be here today with you on this Courage Award, and to remember Lauren on her Courage Award Day too. So this is really special for us.
Yeah, basketball meant so much to Lauren. I mean, it's what brought her, it kept her going, kept her alive. Doctors said she wouldn't make the season, and obviously she made the season and she got to play. She actually stayed through the entire season. She got to we watched the national championship in the hospital. So it was and we're coming up on her date in April when she left us. But during that whole span, I think one of her favorite moments was receiving this award from Pat. It was absolutely amazing, and our hearts just hearing your story, it's just absolutely amazing that this has been able to push you like it pushed Lauren to get over the hump and just keep going.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful thing.
I just want to also point out, standing over there was Lauren's coach, Dan Benjamin, who a couple years ago came up here and spoke, at the end of the season. So Avery, now you get the chance to wrap all this up and give your acceptance.
Well, I had a place I was going to start, but I'm going to start by thanking you guys for being here. It means more than you know to me, so I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. To start again, I just want to thank the U.S. Basketball Writers Association for selecting me for this award in Pat Summitt's honor. When I graduated from high school, my longtime field hockey coach and mentor, Coach Underwood, gave me Pat Summitt's book, Sum It Up. And in the front cover, she wrote a little note to me, and at the time, I just read the note and kind of kept moving and read the book, which was great. The note read, Avery, when I read this book, I thought about all the sacrifice that these women went through so that we could have the opportunities we do today in sport. I hope you find the book as motivating as I did. Always remember, which she then quoted Pat Summitt. Things worth achieving don't come quickly or easily. They come with a price. They come as a result of time, effort, sacrifice, and pain, because life is hard. Reading that for the first time as a senior in high school, I really didn't understand how hard my life was about to become. Reading that now as a senior in college, I really understand the sacrifice that Pat Summitt made for us and the courage that she had. And the note that my coach left me on that day has a whole new meaning to me. I am truly humbled to receive this award in her honor. I would also like to mention a previous recipient of this award, Lauren Hill. I watched Pat Summitt present her with this award from my bedroom shortly after I returned home from inpatient rehab. Hearing her story and seeing her courage helped me put my situation in perspective. I had time on my side, and she knew she did not. This is something we are all blessed with. Every morning, God wakes us up. Time. For me, it was time to get back on the court, but most importantly, time to grow as a person. Right then and there, as I watched Lauren Hill, I believed that if I was able to find just half the courage that Lauren had, I had a chance to get back on the court. Lauren's courage helped me find my own, and I hope I can help others do the same. Most importantly, to God, my friends, family, and coaches who have supported me on this journey, a lot of which are here today. I wouldn't be receiving this award without you. Thank you.
That's it. Like I said, anybody wants to talk to the recipients or take pictures, I know we have combinations. Go down to the SFA. We got some colleagues working.